Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You are listening to On the Go with Tiffany Patton, your link to love, life, and liberty right here on Foundation Studios down here in the beautiful downtown Detroit. We're located inside of the historical Detroit Foundation Hotel. It used to be the old firehouse, but we're right here in the heart of Detroit, and I have a amazing show for you today. We have many different guests here, and also a guest that we will be talking to very shortly. We have no other than activist, rapper, and actor Mr. David Banner, who we will be speaking with shortly. And then we also have just someone who he's had my stomach growling since he walked into the door. It is no other than Grant Lancaster. He is one of the, I would say, would it be owners or...
That's good enough.
Okay, one of the owners of City Wings, and he has a bag full of food. And if you don't mind grabbing that food, we're going to eat this food while we're on air, so I can actually give them a great review while I'm eating. Tell us, Grant, how you got started in the wing business, because what you guys don't know, and you know what, I'll let him wait to answer that, because July 29th is National Wing Day. Now, how somebody who likes wings the way I do didn't know that, I don't know. However, it is National Wings Day, and we're definitely going to be speaking to Grant to see what they have in store for us on that day. Eat your heart out, because I get to test them first. You definitely will want to make sure that you put in your order for the 29th and eat wings all day long. You get to do it unapologetically because it is Wing Day. So we'll be speaking with Grant Lancaster in just a moment. We also have Larethia Hatton. She is doing a wonderful thing for our Detroit youth. She has a talent show so that all of the youth and the young, I don't want to say young at heart, because these individuals will actually be young ladies and young men who have a talent and they wish to display their talent. She has a talent show that is coming up in September, on September 16th, and she has some auditions that are going to be coming up in the very near future. So she's going to be talking to us about that and what you need to do to get started. As well as Erica Maria. She is just a phenomenal woman. She has an amazing testimony of what God can do when he wants to provide justice for things that may not necessarily happen to us that are good, but they are on time. However, we do have someone who is on the air that we want to speak with, who is definitely no stranger to the media, no stranger to the airwaves. It is no other than Mr. David Banner himself. Hello, Mr. Banner. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I am wonderful.
So somebody gave me a wrong number. I don't know whether it was your sister or your daughter or somebody was really kind and gave us this number. You had a wrong number.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, David, you are a rapper, an actor, and a social activist, and I've literally seen you almost evolve, if you will. Now, you can tell me if I'm wrong, because maybe we just weren't privy to the other side of who you were. But I saw you go from a rapper to an actor, which we all love you. My favorite role of you is in This Christmas. You kind of rough up we all love Idris, so we were kind of not feeling you because of that, but you really played your role, and then you went and evolved.
And I looked quite awesome.
Yes, you did. I'll agree with you. I would have to agree.
This is what I'll say. We have been adopted into American culture, or socialized, or forced, or whatever you want to call it, into American culture. And one of the problems with pop American culture is they love romanticism. You know, and you know, that's the reason why those romance novels and books and movies and stuff sell so much, is because people love the story. But the truth is, I've been conscious since I was in 11th grade. I was drunk and high and, you know, a Mississippi boy from the streets. So I was rough around the edges. But, you know, the reason why I don't talk about what I used to do more, because I'm a man.
Yeah.
I don't like the title social activist. I let people say it. I'm just a man who cares about his community. And this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's true.
And I don't put it on the fact that I'm a rapper. Like, this is what I've always been. You know, I taught school just so I can be around children. You know, I say I want to be, you know, the first $1 billion teacher. You know what I'm saying? Or a professor. Because, you know, something that Dr. Claude Anderson said, like, everybody is pushing education first. He said he doesn't agree with that. He said he believes that the first step into healing our community is commerce. And us creating successful businesses. Yes. Successful businesses. How can you teach me about something properly that you haven't successfully navigated yourself? So for me, I think what happened with me is, one, I grew older. So a lot of the crassness and a lot of the things that I did in the past that I stopped doing, it didn't necessarily come from consciousness. It came from me just growing up. A lot of things, like, it's funny when people talk about the stuff I did, because I'm an entertainer, they don't look at the fact that those things were 10 years ago. Right. Or 15 years ago in some cases. You know what I'm saying? And they still, you know, we're frozen in time because you all have an opportunity to watch us grow on television or I mean, because even think about it. This Christmas is like close to 8 years.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know, and time flies. And the thing is though that, you know, if you look back at Katrina, if you look back at, you know, the Emmett Till case, a lot of the, you know, me defending our rights after the Don Imus case, like, that was straight up during the time I was doing Play and Get Like Me, and I was in the middle of my ratchetness.
Right. Okay, well, that's one of my favorite songs. I'm sorry. In the middle of the ratchetness.
I think what happens, though, is that because of social media, people had an opportunity to see the other side of me on my own terms. You know, and because of the fact I decided to outwardly to stay on the path of consciousness and not waver, you know, it looks a little bit more in depth. And then also because, you know, people get to see me now because of social media. Think about YouTube. How much YouTube has changed my career. Yeah. There's kids who don't even know my music, but they know me from the Breakfast Club. They know me from different clips, from audio clips and stuff. I even found out something that I didn't think about. Charlemagne was telling me, he said, Brother Banner, you don't know this. He said, but a lot of us raised, especially these male children who don't have fathers, when they're searching for manhood or a certain level of toughness and they decide that they don't want to go, you know, down the regular street path or pimping or gang violence. In a lot of cases, a lot of time these kids do that for either money or finding a level of camaraderie, or at least some form of distorted manhood. So a lot of these kids look at our videos and look at our lectures trying to find some type of level of manhood, you know. And I'm just grateful, you know, regardless of the story or whether people think I got conscious today or yesterday, you know, I think about this. My lectures are sold out just about everywhere I go. I mean, I've done lectures in front of over 200,000 people, you know, but most of my lectures are right around 1,000, between 700 and 1,500 people every time I go somewhere. And people don't even get up to use the bathroom.
But you know why?
Think about how much of a blessing to keep black people captivated with 808.
Yes. But you know, the reason why that is because I think we understand and we know and we can feel that it comes from a place of passion from you. And I think people connect when they can feel the realness of a thing. it becomes almost, it almost puts you in a trance, because there's so much fakeness. There's so much masks, so many masks being worn by so many people, that the world is almost like totally tired of that. They want real, and they're searching for it. And when they hear it, they become captivated, and they don't want to move, because it's feeding to that spirit and in their soul in a way that they've been longing for and craving for. So I thank you for doing that.
It's so amazing that you said that. A friend of mine, now I'm not saying that I agree with it, but a friend of mine said America has taken the minds of black people a generation ago. He told me, he said, our minds have been gone through television, through radio, through mass marketing. He said the only thing that black people have left is the spirit. And he said you resonate with people's spirit. Yes. And they don't even know why.
That's true.
Enthralled with the things that you say. And that's directly in line with what you're saying.
It is. And you know, you can fool people, and you can fool the flesh, but you can't fool the spirit. And it automatically recognizes when truth is being told, irregardless if people don't want to adhere to it.
About that, though, excuse me, I don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I don't want you to blaze past that point. The only sad thing about that, love, so many of our people have been away from their spirit and hearing, you know, the Most High's voice, that I think a lot of us can be misled. Because I give you an example. It seems like a lot of people are more interested in what's fake because they hear that more. Even with me deciding to allow my beard to grow gray. You know, I've had a gray beard, or at least a portion of my beard was gray since I was 28. All this time, I have been using Beijing on my beard. And it's funny that most people think the gray beard is fake. And not, you know,
not Beijing.
42 years old and have a total dark beard. That's almost not possible, period.
I'm sorry. I'm still on the Beijing. Okay.
I wanted to be one of the first men who embraced growing into an elder.
Yeah.
Who knows how much of a blessing it is to acquire, you know, knowledge over a certain level of years. And to let kids know when they see me that there is an elder in front of them, someone that cares about them, that can pass on a certain level of information and knowledge. You know?
Yes. You know, it's so funny that you said that, because I think a lot of times we don't want, I mean, and I'm a woman, the first hint of gray I see, I'm trying to cover it up. So I get it and I understand, because I'm not really ready fully for that just yet. However, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, because I had to switch over. It's raining really bad.
Oh, okay.
But let me tell you one thing, though. I'm gonna be honest with you, as it pertains to women. If I would have known that this gray beard was an aphrodisiac, I would have went gray when I was 28. I was ready to go hang. No, I'm serious, man. From people of all ages, like, women really respect, you know, and really like, you know, somebody who embraces who they are.
Yes.
Who's not afraid, you know, who's not afraid of it. Because you got to wear it with a certain level of pride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do. You do. Because if you're not comfortable in it, you'll look you'll look a different way. This is true. This is very, very true. Well, we love the gray. We do. We love the gray. It makes you look very distinguished. And just to switch gears a little bit, I know you have recently been announced, or it was recently announced this month, that you are going to be the host of one of the shows on Aspire, the ABFF Independent, which is like a weekly hour show.
This is my third year, love.
No, I mean, as I should say, you've been announced as continuing to do so, is what I'm saying. Because I know sometimes people go a different route, but you've been very integral in this documentary that goes on for 9 weeks, I believe it is, and you talk about all different things. tell us how or what it means to you to be able to be the host of this show, because it allows you, I think it probably affords you to talk about a lot of different things around the world or on a national level.
Well, there's a couple things. This is originally Omari Hatwick's show.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he left the show to go on to Power.
To Power. Mm-hmm.
So to be able to follow in his footsteps, especially what he's been able to acquire and what he's been able to do moving forward, was really dope. But I'll be honest with you about something. Originally, I did this show as a favor.
Okay.
To one of the higher ups of Aspire, and I have this new thing where black folks, we always say we got each other. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. But people just say that just to be saying it, not because they really mean it.
That's true.
So his name was Paul. Paul was a very good friend of mine, and he had been talking about Aspire, his Magic Johnson's network, and what they really wanted to do as it pertains to black culture.
Yes.
So I asked him, first of all, I said, is this something what change I'm making in my life? There's certain things that I just won't do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing no, I'm not going to, downgrade whatever somebody else does, but it's just certain types of shows, certain types of music that I'm just not going to do anymore.
I understand.
And I said, does this fall in the vein of what I stand for? He was like, yes. And I was like, I got you. So I do a season for you. So initially, what ABFF Independent is it's a place where independent films can be shown on major TV. And at first, I really thought it was just a show where a bunch of rich people, bought a space where they can get their kids' film shows, for the most part, because we know that happens.
Okay. Right.
But this was not the case with this particular show. These are literally great black films who have won film festivals all around the world, who already have traction, and they just didn't hit the glass ceiling.
Right.
And what ABFF Independent does is it gives them one more notch in their belt, one more opportunity to get seen, and maybe something else happens. And in a lot of cases, that's all we ever need.
That's true.
Like, that's the way that I am. I only get depressed when I don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. If God can give me just a spark, just like a match, just give me a little sunlight. It's when I don't see any. And a lot of these films are great films who I even sometimes don't understand why. Like, they're black cartoons and it's just all kind of stuff it's horror. It's not just comedy, because to be honest with you, I sort of get tired of the slave narrative. I get tired, even though I was in The Butler.
I was just gonna say, but you
a whole lot of money. That was when Oprah.
Hey, when O calls you, yeah.
You sort of make it happen.
Yes, you go.
But what ended up happening was, it's so many films. I was talking about this today in a documentary. I was talking about the fact that black people have been so brainwashed that black people make the same movies about black people that white folks do. Like, we get an opportunity and we can make anything in the universe that we can think of, and we want to go make a slave film. Like, I just don't get that. It's enough of those. Like, it's cool for us to know that aspect, but is that all?
That we do.
Only story, drugs,
right.
drugs and record companies,
right?
And, it sort of hurt me. I'm gonna tell you, this is funny. Don't laugh at me too hard. I get embarrassed because anytime, like, let's say if I'm driving in a Bentley, right, or I'm on a first class flight, the first thing white folks say, "Are you a rapper?" Oh. And I'd be like, "Damn!" No, in actuality, I'm an oceanographer.
Wow.
It's crazy because I am a rapper, and that's all they really think of us.
Yeah.
Really, all they really think
or basketball players.
Slaves.
Yeah.
Right. Basketball players, or dope dealers, or something like that. And I just